I'm about to eat this ice cream. However, what I have yet to realize behind that beautiful boy is that this isn't a normal restaurant or ice cream parlor. I don't know if that would be the same thing. But rather, this restaurant is an F-rated restaurant according to health inspectors. Which leaves me with the question. Have you ever seen a restaurant with an F-rated inspection? Well, you haven't? That's because they get shut down. However, even after getting these food violations, there's still some places that reopen. Or even worse, they don't even close. However, that's where I come in. I'm gonna go to 5 different restaurants that have shut down to see if these restaurants have changed their ways or if they're still putting 200 plus bugs in their food. Like, seriously, who's even counting this stuff? Hopefully that's not true though. But before we get there, I found this place called Cornerstone Pizza, which according to the health inspectors, it wasn't even that bad. Except for the 7 snakes, 3 lions, and a bear. Nah, I'm just kidding. I made that up. However, they do have some violations. Of the basic ones, the worst one that I read is that they were leaking water from the ceiling apparently. But as far as they call it, the intermediate violations go, the worst thing that I found was that there was no proof of state approved food safety training. But what really concerns me is this review that I read. Colleen. Also, just ignore the photo. I used ChatGPT to generate a person. But anyway, she ordered food for her dad. Was surprised when they found out that there was a thumbtack inside of their pizza. I have no clue how that even happened, but whatever. However, the restaurant did give them free pizza to compensate, but I also feel that this was kind of unacceptable. Now, whether this is true or not, I do not know. However, I mean, we're about to find out. But as I went to go open the door for the first time, yeah, this was my first time. This definitely wasn't my second time going because I forgot to film the first time around. So basically, the door will not open. There's absolutely no sign of life in there. Even though they were clearly open on Google Maps, but whatever. What do I do? Should I just come back here in like an hour? And I promise I'm not making up this next part. But literally, as we were about to leave, yo, I was literally just about to wrap it up, call it a night. I think everything just changed. Because surprise, surprise, Pizza Man showed up right as we were leaving. Bro! Dude, I can't even make that up.
They probably saw those in the cameras or something.
Are you guys open? Yeah, he did. Now, because ordering food is kind of boring, I want to explain to you why I'm doing all this. See this in my hand? This is a trophy that just so happened to be dropped off my front doorstep a few days ago. Granted, I had to make some minor adjustments because it didn't say food at first. Well, actually, it was supposed to say restaurant, but I don't know how to spell it. Point is, we are looking for the cleanest restaurants, as you already know. However, there is a few bonuses I'm looking for. See, I'm a big bathroom guy. Every time I go in a restaurant, I love to look at their bathroom. To me, honestly, it's more important than the food itself. Truth be told, it's just the nastiest part of the restaurant, so that's why I'm checking it. So I'm gonna be checking every bathroom, as well as the food itself, because what's a restaurant with bad food? That's right, a bad restaurant. Okay, now that you guys are caught up, it's officially time for our first bathroom time. I'm not gonna lie, I have no idea if they could hear me outside, so I'm gonna do voiceover because I was not speaking loud into the microphone. But basically, in the video, I was talking about how this bathroom is not very big, which isn't a bad thing, until I looked over at the sink, where I found this bottle of soap that looked a little funny. I'm pretty sure those two are supposed to mix. But as far as the bathroom goes, honestly, it's pretty normal. It looks... Final result, I'm gonna give it a 6 out of 10. There's a toilet. Lucky for me, as I got out of the bathroom, the pizza was already on our table, which kinda had me worried because most of the reviews were saying that this pizza lacks a lot of cheese. Which is funny they mentioned that because I didn't really notice that. Bro, no, that's good. It was cooked for the perfect time. It had the perfect amount of cheese in my opinion, and the sauce wasn't too saucy. I'm not the biggest pizza guy, but I know this is good.
Not bad.
The under stuff?
Undercarriage.
Now, the food was really just a bonus. What we were looking for is if this restaurant was actually clean. And unfortunately for the restaurant, I'm gonna be pretty honest, it was pretty clean. Kind of. There were no water leaks. However, this soda machine looked a little old. But it had Coke Zero, so who even cares? But then the last thing that I expected happened as a wild influencer appeared. Yo, I think someone else is doing a review. What? In my territory? At my pizza shop? Who does this guy think he is? I'm gonna beat this guy up. I'm serious. Yo, you taking a photo? Yeah. Can I get in the photo with you? Yeah, I got nervous.
2, 1.
Yes, I'm not making this up. We took a photo with the newspapers and these 3 backpacks, and he wanted us to do these poses. Well, actually, I chose this pose, but whatever. Look, this guy was really a character because I wanted to get the photo, and the first time he didn't realize I was taking a photo, but the second time he realized that I took a photo of his phone, he decided to show me his watch. Or I guess show you guys. I'm sorry, this killed me. I'm filming a YouTube video right now.
Yeah.
Have you ever ate here before?
I never ate here.
I'm here in they shut down before.
Okay.
What do you think about that? You think it's safe to eat here? Look, I'm gonna warn you ahead of time. His answers, they're not really normal.
Alright, babe, you think it's safe to eat here? She said yes. She said yes. Actually, they're the cleanest store in Nebraska. Heart filled with love that when you kumbaya, you know what happens? You meet the best YouTuber on Instagram.
Cornerstone Pizza. Oh boy, what a restaurant. Let's start with the fact that there was pizza here, which in my opinion was pretty good. But is it in the conversation for the trophy? That I don't know, but there have definitely been some cleaner places I've been to. The soap for one could be usable, but honestly the experience kind of just felt like if you went to your friend's house and they made pizza for you. But because I really like their slice, I'm gonna give Cornerstone Pizza a 7.5 out of 10. Of all the places we're going to, Cornerstone Pizza was the highest rated restaurant. So unfortunately for me, it's only downhill from here. I think I know why Chuck E. Cheese was better as a kid. Was it because we weren't aware of their food violations? Or how Chucky actually kidnaps kids? I actually don't know if that's true, but according to Sarah A, it is. Kids are getting kidnapped, and parents are saying their kids are being lost in Chuck E. Cheese. You need to close it. And they're bringing pizza from leftovers, and I saw someone recording Chuck's moving when the place is closed. So I recommend not to go to Chuck E. Cheese. Parents, be careful. Oh no! I understand it's only Tuesday at 2:55, but I don't know why I expected there to be like, I don't know, at least 5 more people in here. I don't even think Mickey's here right now, bro. And I was probably right, because this is Chuck E. Cheese, not Disney. But as far as their violations go, Chuck E. Cheese is also found guilty of not training their employees on safety. Food safety, that is. However, they were also found guilty of having a few friends at the salad bar. Yeah, I know. I'm pretty impressed too. I didn't know they had a salad bar. Also, this is kind of a bonus one, but child labor? I mean, I don't know if that's a food violation. I mean, it's a violation. I just don't know if it's unsanitary. Wait, do you smell that? It smells like our pizza. Oh yeah, it's ready. But before I eat this pizza, let's play a little game. What do you think I'm mad at right now? Is it A, the cameraman? B, the fact I'm not at 500,000 subscribers yet? Or C, the fact that federal minimum wage is $7.25 an hour and this pizza cost me almost double that, only for it to be small enough to not even feed the average customer at Chuck E. Cheese? If you guessed A, you'd be right. Right at being wrong, because who in their right mind charges that for a pizza? Yo, I want you to go ahead and guess how much I paid for this. I said that without knowing I was about to tell you guys how much it is. Wait, how did you guess? Wait, maybe I did know. I can... I say this with all sincerity, there was literally nothing special about this pizza. And for anybody wondering, no, it did not taste like leftovers. Okay, Sarah A. But now with all this pizza in my system, that kind of made me want to pee. Is that really how that works? I don't know. But it's bathroom time. Look, excuse me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure this bathroom's cleaner than it is outside. Matter of fact, it might even be cleaner than my bathroom at home. Like, I'm not even joking, this might be the cleanest bathroom that I've ever seen. There's actually nothing. I could lick the floor, basically, honestly. You probably think I was actually gonna lick the floor, didn't you? I'm being serious, I'm not doing that. I'm really not gonna do it. As sad as I was about the pizza, the bathroom made up for it because of how clean it was. Because at the end of the day, what really matters isn't the food, but how clean these places are, right? That's a clean bathroom. But just as I was ready to leave, I had one more thing I still needed to check, which I mentioned from the beginning before I even got in. And it's the salad bar. The salad bar. Which according to my research was allegedly found to have bugs. Allegedly, that is. So it could be, or it couldn't be. I don't know. Actually, I do know. I already filmed a video. But according to the most reliable source on the internet, Kawan Kerr, I used my eye test to see how this food is holding up. However, I didn't find anything. Actually, conversely, I found it to be pretty clean. And because of that, I think I'm ready to make my review. But before we leave, there was one more thing that I mentioned in the beginning, and it was the supposed child labor. But I guess the employees knew about this already, because when I went to go ask them, this is what they said.
I get what you're saying, but I can get in trouble just by answering your questions.
Alright, that's fine. Thank you then. Have a good day. I have no comments, but I think I'm ready to make my review. Chuck E. Cheese. Let's start with the obvious. Pizza was definitely a problem. Not only the size, but the price for the size. However, I want you guys to understand that I really did try to find anything dirty. And despite the fact that it is a Tuesday at 2 o'clock, I mean, it was pretty clean. But is it a contender for the trophy? I don't know. Also, for anybody curious, I'm gonna give this a 6 out of 10. There was really nothing special. We'll give him a double thumbs up though.
Oh, how about that? How is the phone floating?
Alright, you can give me the phone now.
All right, where to next? I'm honestly pretty full. I don't know if I'm gonna eat more. Hold on, wrong way. What? What kind of food do they have there?
Turns out food actually makes you fat, so I'm gonna try to run 3 miles to burn it off. I actually, this Apple Watch is dead. I just thought it looked better in the video.
Wait, I'm not ready. Hold on.
Oh, how many miles was that?
Bro, you took like 20 steps.
All right, buddy. I know you're tired, but you need to get up because now it's dinner time and I'm actually hungry again. Yummy. I wonder where we go now. What's a checkerboard? What? Could that mean we're going to Checkers? Ooh, I wonder. Oh, we are.
I hope you guys enjoyed that skit. I worked really hard on it and I thought it was really funny. The trophy is clearly still in my hands, which means no restaurant has won it yet.
The restaurants, as we keep going on, are only going to get crazier, and this one isn't an exception. Checkers is known for a lot of things. Cheap food, being irrelevant. I mean, seriously, when was the last time you went to a Checkers? But when it comes to violations, all the restaurants that we went so far don't even come close to the violations that Checkers have. One of the most interesting ones that I found was that they found roaches inside their milkshake machine. Like, literally, how does that even happen? And I swear I'm not making this up, but apparently also in the ice cream machine, there was also another case where they found 100 flies in the ice cream machine. Also, I feel like it's tradition at this point, but of course, their employees do not have food safety training. Yo, 3rd restaurant in a row. Like, it can't be that hard. There's no way.
The interesting thing about Checkers is, well, first, I've never tried it, but every single Checkers that I read in the area has a bad review. And I'm not here to talk bad on Checkers, especially because I haven't tried it, but literally every place has below a 3 stars. However, I do hear it's pretty cheap. Yeah, I'll get that and a chocolate milkshake then.
Now, for anybody that doesn't know or hasn't understood yet why we're standing outside, it's because Checkers is a fully outdoor restaurant, meaning they work inside and we pick up the food outside. So I had to sneak my camera to get some shots of the inside, and I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't really happy with what I saw. Hold on, this music is too epic. Give me a second. All right, that's better. All right, we'll start off with that's not a rug, okay? Or a rubber mat at that matter. That's grease. Straight up grease. No, but it's fine, because maybe the other side's better, right? Look, I'm gonna keep my words to myself, but what do y'all think? Oh, wait, you wanted a closer look? I don't know why you would ask for that, but here you go. But aside from that, there's really not much to do out here because, well, it is an outdoor restaurant. Also, for anybody curious, I just got some fries and chicken nuggets. And of course, the milkshake.
Look, as far as food violations go, I did see that the floor was absolutely nasty in there. I don't know what that was, if it was drink or what it was. That was gross. I'm not gonna lie to you. Nothing else to do but just to try it, right?
Now, whether I can taste any cockroaches or flies for that matter, it was definitely one of the better milkshakes I've had.
I'm not gonna lie, it tastes really good. I'm so hungry, I can't even think straight. Now, one of the biggest complaints that I was reading in the reviews was the time, and I stopped it and I couldn't really show it because I had to pay with my phone, but they took 2 minutes and 59 seconds. Not 3 minutes, 2 minutes and 59 seconds. Yo, this was only $4. I thought it was gonna be pretty expensive, and actually everything was pretty expensive. However, I do hear it's pretty cheap. Bro, it was actually not good. I'm not gonna lie to you. Try it.
Yeah, that kind of hurt my feelings. I'm not gonna lie. What, does he think he's better than me or something?
To be honest, the chicken's pretty good.
But the more I chewed on this food, the more I couldn't stop thinking about bathroom time. Now, you're probably wondering a few things. But first, let me answer the obvious. Yes, I did change shirts. I guess I should have told you guys that earlier. It's been a while since I changed my shirt. Oh, also, why are we outside? Well, let's go back a little bit.
There's a bathroom. Let's freaking go.
And I really needed to use the bathroom, but as I went to go open the door, it was completely locked. Do you have the bathroom keys?
No, we don't.
No? Okay. All right, now that you're caught up, that's pretty much why we're out here.
We got nature's bathroom right here. Now, there's 2 ways to go about this. First, if you're a dog, you lift up 1 leg to do it. Now, if you're a real boss like me, you just do it with both legs down. Also, I forgot to mention, but there's no sink, so I'm gonna have to find some way to wash my hands.
Well, despite the fact it's literally just a tree, I don't have anything else to say about it. Technically, there is a bathroom, so for that reason, I'm gonna have to give this a 4 out of 10. But if it wasn't obvious enough, I'm not really a fan of Checkers. Yes, it's time for the review. Although I was most scared of the milkshake, honestly, it was probably the best part of this entire restaurant. And for that, that's probably the only good thing I have to say about this restaurant. However, as far as the rest of the food goes, it was probably the worst fast food I've ever had in my life. I say that without exaggeration. There was so much grease on the fries that it was borderline wet. Almost as wet as the floor inside, but that was another level of wet, because yo, what even happened back then? And another thing that actually had me really sad is the bathroom being closed. Now, we don't actually know if it's unsanitary or not, but the fact that they saw my camera and didn't want to give me the keys tells me all I need to know. And as far as the trophy goes, I don't even think we need to have a conversation. That being said, Checkers is genuinely a 4 out of 10 restaurant to me. I mean, they have food. No hard feelings, Checkers, but I think we should move on. Especially because I'm still hungry. But for this next location, luckily I won't have to worry about leaving hungry because it's a buffet. And upon first inspection, I kind of started to rethink why this place was even on my list. Because to be honest, it looked very clean. Alright, you know what? It wasn't perfect. There was this cone right here, but like, really? But regardless, this restaurant was on my list for a reason, so let's go over it. There's a lot of unsafe things going on with the sushi of this restaurant, which honestly happens because sushi is a very hard food to serve. A lot of people have reportedly been feeling sick after eating the sushi. Also, similarly to Chuck E. Cheese, people are saying that the sushi is being reused, as in leftovers just, well, get put back. This restaurant was also closed to having bugs, more specifically on customers' food. I don't like bugs.
Bro, it's so quiet in here. Like, I feel bad for filming, bro. I feel like a disruption to everybody. I'm actually really hungry and the sushi actually looks really good.
Let me know if I'm crazy, but I think the sushi looks pretty normal. And from what I remember, it tasted pretty normal too. But they had some weird flavors that I don't think I've ever seen in my life.
Yo, that sushi has banana on it. Yo. Dude, I gotta try that. Well, that's interesting.
Almost as interesting as bathroom time. Oh yeah, I bet you weren't expecting that, huh?
This is definitely one of the bigger bathrooms we've been to.
4 freaking toilets. The sink is completely clean and there's actually soap here. Ugh.
I'll get that later.
I mean, the bathroom was not locked and they seem to have everything. Paper, soap. I mean, sure, some spots were dirty, but who really cares? It happens. Also, just as a bonus, I feel like the smell in here kind of brought me back to when I was a kid. I really can't describe it, but something about that bathroom.
Usually every toilet's like super wet down here because people can't aim, but this one's actually pretty dry. Is it crazy for me to say that this might be the cleanest bathroom of the video so far?
Absolutely not, because all things considered, the fact that everything was there and everything was clean and it was a big bathroom, I'm gonna give this one a 9 out of 10. That's a good bathroom. But after getting back to my table, I was just gonna use the same plate to get another portion of food.
I was gonna use the same plate, but he just took my plate.
That's the habits of a clean restaurant, I'll tell you what. And as good as this restaurant seems, it only gets better because the sushi that I tried, there was really nothing wrong with it, except for this one piece that looked a little rushed. But even then, I'm doing these voiceovers the next day, and my stomach feels completely fine. But unlike the other restaurants, this one actually had some decent motion going on. It was pretty full. I also saw these bananas with, I guess, hot sauce on top. Yeah, I'm not eating that. We even got a fortune cookie.
What's your fortune?
Hold on. It says, your next Chinese meal will bring you more cookies. Oh, that's the wrong way. Today's small steps lead to big achievements.
Ah, that's good.
Okay.
And after finishing my final plate and an ice cream, you could probably imagine I was pretty full. You see, I look full. I mean, this is really me acting, but I was pretty full. And before I even pay, I want you guys to take a guess at how much I paid. You guessing? Well, if you guessed $11.70, I don't know for whatever reason why you would guess that, but I mean, you'd be right. Also, I'm like genuinely curious. If anybody guessed that, please comment that. I'll pin your comment. And so after finishing my final bowl of ice cream, because of course they had ice cream there, I think I was ready for my review of King Buffet.
King Buffet.
Too late, buddy.
For whatever reason, he didn't want to eat there, which I don't know why, because that was only $11. That's cheaper than like almost any other food they can find. And it was a buffet. You can eat anything you want. As long as they have it there, you can eat it. One guy there serving all the tables, and he was doing completely fine. I'm not gonna lie, the customer service is not the best, but it was because it was one guy for, I don't know, 20 tables maybe. But was that enough to win the trophy? We're gonna have to see the next restaurant to decide that.
Oh, I think we're missing a rating, huh? I mean, if this isn't a 9 out of 10 restaurant, I don't know what is. And so finally, after all this time, we've gotten to our final location, which I promise you is crazier than any of the locations we've been to so far.
We made it to our final spot. I'm not gonna lie, of all the places, I'm pretty scared of this one. I'm so scared of like someone coming out here and just seeing me do like a bad review of the restaurant. I don't even know if it's bad yet. Look, I really don't. The smaller violations that we have, which I don't really know if this would count as a violation, but some of the walls do appear to be breaking. That's what they're saying. I don't know who said that. But that's what they're saying. Now, the big violation, the one that we're here for, is that they were last shut down for having 228 small flies in their kitchen.
Now, before anyone says anything, because I know they will, I have no idea how they counted out 228 bugs, but whatever.
I'm all for seasoning, but this is crazy, man.
Low-key, he doesn't want to admit it, but he's kind of a germaphobe. What do you have to say about that?
I hate germs. And
Yeah?
I'm definitely a germaphobe, bro. I don't want to go in there. There's hella bugs in there, from what I'm hearing. I don't want to walk into a fly trap, bro.
Before we go in, I just want to mention the location isn't even that bad. It's at a pretty convenient spot. However, it was pretty hard to find parking.
Yo, also, I'm not 100% sure, but when I was doing research for this place, it was called Rick and Lee's Oyster Bar. Now it's called Lee and Rick, which is apparently a method that they use when they get shut down to be able to reopen under a new name. Bro, look at the entrance.
Yeah, this really should have been our first sign to turn away. Not even to mention the stain on the wall, but whatever. You might even think we're exaggerating, but I'm being so serious. When you walk in, you just get hit with the fresh sense of just stink.
Bro, it actually stinks in here. Oh my gosh.
It was literally the perfect place to finish a video like this. Like, even the place was dark. The camera doesn't do justice, but it was very dark in there. And to make matters worse, we were pretty much the only people in there, so it was extra awkward.
We just came here and they just gave us a menu. I mean, everything seems alright so far. I low-key think they're aware that we're filming, so they might be a little bit nicer.
They gave us some crackers, which they said is good with their sauce. We'll try that in a bit though. Also, the mandatory Coke Zero, which really wasn't Coke Zero, they only had Diet Coke. But the more I drank it, the more I realized I needed to use the bathroom time. Unless you guys count the Checkers bathroom, which personally I don't, this would be the smallest bathroom of the video so far. But hey, look, size doesn't matter. What matters is the personality of the bathroom. But it's really small. I mean, look at the toilet. I don't think I can sit there. Nah, I'm just kidding. My hips aren't that wide. Also, I don't really know what faces I was doing here. Oh, that's better.
I was literally just about to pee, and how am I supposed to lock this? Okay, it's locked.
Also, I noticed the surface was a little bit sticky with a side of hair. But hey, at least they're washing their hands here. Never mind. Although the toilet flushed fine, there looked like there was some mold on the floor. Not that that's gonna affect my food or anything, but I mean, it's there. Also, the mirror works if anybody's wondering. Also, just please ignore this video. I didn't have any other video to show. Can we stop acting like we don't all do this in the bathroom? Okay, I understand it was tiny, but I tend to over-exaggerate in the videos. But it really wasn't that bad. I mean, they could definitely use some soap, but I mean, everything was fine. It was a pretty cool bathroom, actually. I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10.
Dozen, I think, are $10.95. Dozens are $19.95.
I'm pretty hungry. Do you think like that would fill me up?
Guys, genuinely, this was the stupidest thing I did in the entire video, and it was to tell her that I was hungry. Because now I actually gotta eat the food in whole.
Are you good with being a little bit slimy, or?
Okay, yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, and then like say if you want more, then we'll do another half dozen, and then I'll just, you know, bring it up as a dozen.
I'm not gonna lie, like, this place so far is not bad. The people are nice, but it smells so bad. Like, I mean, it's expected. It's a seafood place, but I'm scared, bro. I'm not ordering nothing. All on bro over here. He gonna pay for everything.
And while we wait for our food, we might as well talk about the broken walls allegation from earlier. And it's definitely true. But honestly, it kind of feels like part of the theming. The theming of like a captain ship, I guess. Pirate ship? Is that what it is?
Yeah, I completely missed, bro. Dude, it went everywhere but the cracker.
This sauce she gave us, I still don't remember what it is, but she said something. It wasn't ketchup though. It didn't taste like it, at least.
No, I like it.
Alright, I'm gonna be honest. I was just stalling because on the other side of the crackers was the oysters. I I want to add another detail. I've never tried an oyster before, especially hot. So
Bro, I'm low-key nervous because I've never had an oyster in my life. Here we go.
Alright, turns out I do not like oysters. I'm really not trying to be mean, especially because if I want to, I can really thug down some food. But this was just something else. Was it because it was too slimy?
Are you good with being a little bit slimy, or?
Dude, it tastes like a human gummy, bro. That's what it tastes like. No, I'm not even trying to be funny, bro.
But I'll tell you one thing. I was not gonna leave this place until I had ate a full oyster. So I went for a second bite. Rick and Lee Oyster Bar, or should I say Lee and Rick? I really forgot the order it was in.
I want to first start off, before I say anything, the woman was very nice to us. She really was. Now, I didn't meet Lee or Rick, I don't think. Well, I'm not gonna lie to you, like, there was a point, like, the cameras weren't rolling. I don't even want to, like, act like crazy or anything, but, like, I started getting a little bit dizzy. I don't want to blame it on the food, because usually food, it would take you a while for you to start feeling sick. I, personally, found out today that I don't like oysters. Maybe it's because I got them warm. Now look, I'm gonna let him share this. You said you saw a fly in there?
Okay, so I was sitting down and everything was fine, but I notice things when I see it, bro. All right, it wasn't very noticeable, but when something flies by your vision, your peripherals, you notice it. I saw it twice, just like one time, give it like maybe like 10 minutes. I saw it come back, but that was it. You know, one fly, you know, it's normal. Even the best restaurant can have a bug in there, you know. Ecosystems are everywhere. I was hoping to see a bit more ecosystem in here, but it's good that I didn't, because I don't want to see that.
Yo, and also one last thing, that genuinely took away my hunger. I'm not hungry anymore.
And with that being said, I think it's appropriate to say that I have a final rating. If we're talking about just the food, I would honestly give them a 3 out of 10. But because she was nice to us and the bathroom was kind of cool, I'll give them a 5 out of 10.
However, I think I'm ready to make my decision to who gets the trophy.
So finally, after all this time, I can finally choose someone to give the trophy to. And you actually won't believe it. No, I'm just kidding. Obviously, I'm giving it to the buffet.
I'm actually so nervous to do this, bro. I don't know why, bro. This is like so scary. Sorry, this is very random. We're making a video. Yeah, and we went to a few restaurants, and I liked your restaurant the most, so I want to give you a trophy.
Yo, pause everything, bro. Y'all don't understand how awkward this was, bro. I don't know if this is like his first day on Earth or something, bro.
I can give. You can't take it.
You can put one there.
I leave it there. Okay, thank you.
And so finally, after a week of holding onto this trophy, I finally gave it to someone.
What is bro doing?
Yo,